So I wanted to show you this app that I created for a client. He was getting married and he wanted to have a QR code included in his wedding invitation for guests to scan and RSVP. And he wanted a form that would take the information he provided, like he wanted to know what they wanted to eat. He gave them a selection of food, some music choices, how many guests, and other various information that they would enter on this form after they scan the QR code, and it would populate in Salesforce. And he wanted to be able to track the number of guests and be able to use all the information to create table assignments and other things that they would use at the wedding. They also wanted to be able to email reminders, and they wanted to be able, in the end, to utilize the data they collected and export the information on the guests so they could send out thank you cards. And that is how we came up with the wedding tracker. You can see this is the name of the app up here in the top left. There's a picture of 2 rings, and this is the home page, which I customized. So I want to talk a little bit about what I did. You can see these objects up here. The first thing is this was a regular person who had a dev org. They did not have their own website, and we had the problem was creating a website or without a website to capture information and bring it into Salesforce. So the first thing I did was I made a free website, wix.com. It's not a big deal because it's not like he's going to be using it professionally. And this website is where the guests would be routed to, and they'd be looking at it on their phone. And it has a very nice look to the phone. You can scan the QR code and you can enter the information. It will take it and go into my dev org that I have. And then to be able to bring a input or import information or to capture it, I used a web to lead form. So a lead is a standard object, and leads do have the ability to create a web to lead form, and they create a code, an HTML code. And I was able to take that code from the web to lead setup and embed it into the website. And so now there's a form when you scan the QR code, and it'll ask you questions on your attendance. You fill out the form, that immediately populates into Salesforce. So I created that. I needed to create a new lead process because this is very unique. So you've got to set up what you want, and I'll show you that in a minute. That's going to go on the form and what you want to capture. While you do that, you also, if I go over to my object manager, you can rename a standard object. So you can see that this lead object is actually what we renamed as RSVP. So I can click on that, and within this, because of the new process and everything we were doing, I needed to create a new record type, which I did, and it's not very exciting, but you could see what's on there. And then you had to create a new page layout, and this is how we wanted it to present the information to the client. And within that, and of course, this is how it's going to show up, and create new fields and kind of link them together or create lookup relationships so they relate to each other. And the neat thing about a lead, let's go back to the front end here. If you look up here, now remember, it's called RSVP, not a lead, but it is the same as a lead. It's capturing that information. You can see information captured here. I created these customized lists with the information that the client wanted to see right away. One thing to note is that you can change this into the Kanban form, which is really kind of fun because you can see the process up here that was created, and you can move things along. I'll go back into table view, and I'm going to show you some details. So if you look at the details here, this is the RSVP or the lead form, and up top you can see the process that I created. So submitted is when they submit the information from the website, and then when I've confirmed they're attending, I can mark them here. I can assign them a table. There is a custom object right here at the top for table assignments. So once I assign that table, I'll check it off. When we go to the caterer and we've got all our meals, marked out and what everybody wants, chicken, vegan, whatever their choices are. If they're not attending, I would do this. But if they are attending, I'm going to convert them. And a lead always converts into a contact, an account, and sometimes an opportunity if you want. We did not need it. And so I have created this where it can convert. And I also renamed those standard objects. So guests, if you look up top here, was contacts. So this is going to send the information, we've mapped it over, and families is an account. And the way we utilized them is if you click on guests, these are the people, and this one doesn't have a lot of contact. Let me go to another one for you that I really like. You can see this one. So this is the contact information in here, which family he's related to, which is over here. I made a compact layout at the top. You know, I said, okay, what's the relation? Because sometimes someone shows up at a wedding and you don't know whose side of the family on. So I just said he knows the Jim Bob side of the family and what music choice. And so you just create that according to what the client wants. And then under families, there's related lists. So we've got this person, there's 5 people in this family, so it'll populate with all 5. But what I wanted to show you is if I go to, let's go back to RSVPs and let's click on Susan. We set up auto response rules. On a web to lead form, you can set up rules that respond to the people that fill them out. Companies use this when they ask for information. They're like, hey, thanks, we got your information. So what we did is if we got a yes response, we had an email sent out, and you can see I did convert this one, and right here I can see on the activity she received the thank you card. Here's a little copy. It says, hey, thank you, Bonbee. We received your response. We look forward to seeing you on our special day. Your choices have been recorded. If you need to change anything, call us 14 days in advance. Regards, Blake and John, you know, the happy couple. If their response was no, it was a very similar response saying that we were going to miss them if they decided to change their mind, where to call and let us know. And we appreciated their response. So that is how we were able to capture the information from a QR code without owning your own website, but a real easy way to do it. And then they did request to be able to see things quickly. So I've got some reports you can see here, and created some dashboards. And what I did is on the home page, a lightning page, I took the dashboard because this is where the client's going to open up, and I put it right here with all the stats that they wanted. So at a glance, they can very quickly see what they want, and you can refresh this. Anytime new information goes in, just hit refresh and it refreshes. The great thing is when the guest enters the information on the form that they got to using the QR code, it instantly goes into Salesforce. And it was kind of fun putting this together and just seeing the use case of something that somebody could use this personally, and it really saved them a lot of time.